It's 6:20. Can somebody unmute Abhay?
Hurry up. Okay, it unmuted. Siddhivinayaka namo namo. Siddhivinayaka namo namo. Shakti balaka namo namo. Shakti balaka namo namo. Nityananda namo namo. Nityananda namo namo. Siddhivinayaka namo namo. Siddhivinayaka namo namo. Balaganapate namo namo. Balaganapate namo namo. Shanmukha Sodara namo namo. Shanmukha Sodara namo namo. Mushika Vahana namo namo. Mushika Vahana namo namo. Mohana Rupa namo namo. Mohana Rupa namo namo. Shiva Gananatha namo namo. Shiva Gananatha namo namo. Chinmaya Rupa namo namo. Chinmaya Rupa namo namo. Shiva Gananatha namo namo. Shiva Gananatha namo namo. Chinmaya Rupa namo namo. Chinmaya Rupa namo namo. Siddhivinayaka namo namo. Siddhivinayaka namo namo. Shakti Balaka namo namo. Shakti Balaka namo namo. Nityananda namo namo. Nityananda namo namo. Siddhivinayaka namo namo. Siddhivinayaka namo namo. Balaganapate namo namo. Balaganapate namo namo. Shanmukha Sodara namo namo. Shanmukha Sodara namo namo. Mushika Vahana namo namo. Mushika Vahana namo namo. Mohana Rupa namo namo. Mohana Rupa namo namo. Shiva Gananatha namo namo. Shiva Gananatha namo namo. Chinmaya Rupa namo namo. Chinmaya Rupa namo namo. Shiva Gananatha namo namo. Shiva Gananatha namo namo. Chinmaya Rupa namo namo. Chinmaya Rupa namo namo. Chinmaya Rupa namo namo. Hamsa Vahini Sharade वीणा विनोदिनी शारदे हंसवाहिनी शारदे वीणा विनोदिनी शारदे भावराग विनोदिनी भावराग विनोदिनी लयताल बोधिनी शारदे लयताल बोधिनी शारदे वेगवाहिनी शुभ प्रदायिनी वेगवाहिनी शुभ प्रदायिनी विद्यादायिनी शारदे विद्यादायिनी शारदे जेति जेति धर्म स्वरूप जेति मोक्ष प्रदायिनी जेति जेति धर्म
Yeah, now it is okay.
जेति जेति मोक्ष प्रदायिनी जेति जेति विघ्न विनाशिनी जेति जेति मां जेति जेति विघ्न विनाशिनी जेति जेति मां हंसवाहिनी शारदे वीणा विनोदिनी शारदे हंसवाहिनी शारदे वीणा विनोदिनी शारदे गुरु हमारे मन मंदिर में गुरु हमारे प्यार गुरु हमारे मन मंदिर में गुरु हमारे प्यार सारे विश्व का वो है दाता सारे विश्व का वो है दाता नारायण भगवान नारायण भगवान ओम गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव ओम गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव गुरु हमारे तन मन सब है गुरु हमारे प्यार गुरु हमारे तन मन सब है गुरु हमारे प्यार ज्ञान भक्ति का वही है दाता ज्ञान भक्ति का वही है दाता नारायण भगवान नारायण भगवान ओम गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव ओम गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव गुरु हमारे धन दौलत है गुरु हमारे प्यार गुरु हमारे धन दौलत है गुरु हमारे प्यार सारे विश्व को ज्ञान प्रदाता सारे विश्व को ज्ञान प्रदाता नारायण भगवान नारायण भगवान ओम गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव ओम गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव गुरु हमारे मन मंदिर में गुरु हमारे प्यार गुरु हमारे मन मंदिर में गुरु हमारे प्यार सारे विश्व का वो है दाता नारायण भगवान सारे विश्व का वो है दाता नारायण भगवान नारायण भगवान
ॐ राजाधिराजाय प्रसह्यसायिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कूर्महे समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः ॐ न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागेनैके अमृतत्वमानशुः परेण नाकं निहितं गुहायां विद्राजते यद्यतयो विशन्ति वेदान्तविज्ञाननिष्ठाता सन्न्यासयोग द्यतयः शुद्धसत्त्वाः ते ब्रह्मलोके तु परान्तकाले परामृतात् परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे दह्रं विपापं परमेष्मभूतं यत्पुण्डरीकं पुरमद्य सर्गस्थं तत्रापि दह्रं गगनं विशोकस्तस्मिन् यदन्तस्तदुपासितव्यम् यो वेदादौ तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य यः परः स महेश्वरः न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति।
Hari Om. Welcome to Jnana Yajna on Sri Rama Gita for the next 6 exciting days with Swamiji. Pranams to Swami Prakashananda ji, Swami Sharanananda ji, and all acharyas who are logged into this e-satsanga today. The year 2020 has challenged every one of us in many unique ways. We are all responding, continue to respond in the best way we can. One of the small impacts as a result of the current situation is to converting the previously planned in-person satsanga with Swami Prakashananda ji during the same days to e-satsanga. Thank you all for understanding and participating in this e-satsanga. Special thanks to the technical team in Peoria, Chinmaya Mission Peoria, and guidance from technical team in Trinidad and Tobago. We have been able to get this going. We're doing it for the first time, so bear with us as we probably bump into mistakes and correct them as we go along. During these tough times, with the Lord's grace and blessings of Pujya Gurudev, this e-satsang is an opportunity for all of us to get inspired by Swami Prakashanandaji's wisdom in expounding the Vedantic concepts embedded in the dialogue between Bhagavan Sri Rama and Lakshmana as detailed in the Aranyakanda of Sri Ramacharita. We are really fortunate to have Swami Prakashanandaji teaching us Sri Rama Gita, as he is a well-known authority, scholar, and an ardent devotee of Bhagavan. More importantly for all of us, Swamiji is a trusting and faithful companion for our journey, our inner journey. So we should be really thankful for Swamiji accepting this e-satsanga. Swamiji is very popular in several Chinmaya mission centers throughout the world. Just because he is popular, it does still warrant me to give some brief background on Swamiji for the benefit of those who are joining it for the first time. Swamiji is currently the spiritual head of Chinmaya Mission, Trinidad and Tobago. Swamiji was born in California, Trinidad, and successfully completed bachelor's degree in political science and philosophy from York University in Canada, Toronto. In 1991, Swamiji decided to travel to India to pursue education in Sanskrit and Vedanta at Sandeepani Sadhanalaya in Mumbai. After successfully completing his studies, he remained there in India and Nepal and serving several Chinmaya centers there. During this service, Swamiji also obtained his law degree from Benares Hindu University. Armed with the knowledge in Sanatana Dharma and dedicated service, Swamiji returned to Trinidad in 1997. Through his dynamic and inspiring leadership style and his commitment and dedication to serving the Sanatana Dharma, Swamiji established and continues to spearhead the Chinmaya mission in Trinidad and Tobago. Chinmaya Ashram in Trinidad, which I was very fortunate to visit earlier this year before all these things happened, became the guiding light and spirit for academic and spiritual learning. Swami Prakashananda ji travels extensively in the twin islands of Trinidad and Tobago, in the Caribbean, in the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, all over the world, spreading the message of Sanatana Dharma. In addition to spreading the message of Sanatana Dharma and educating several of us, Swamiji also started numerous charitable projects and initiatives, assisting needy communities and people throughout the island. The Chinmaya Ashram in Trinidad today runs schools under the name of Chinmaya Vidyalaya with centers all over the twin islands of Trinidad and Tobago, all of which continue to add value by positive impact to several thousands of people, thousands of students and families. In recognition of his selfless and dedicated service, the government of Trinidad and Tobago has awarded the Chaconia, I hope I'm saying it right, Chaconia Gold Medal Award in 2012. This is very brief background on Swamiji. He continues that dedicated service in educating on Sanatana Dharma and teaching a lot of people, a lot of students, as well as providing community service. It gives me a great pleasure, Swamiji, to welcome you for this e-satsanga on behalf of Chinmaya Mission Peoria. And we want to thank you for giving us all an opportunity in the form of this Jnana Yajna that will be filled with not only Vedantic, deep Vedantic teachings, but highly inspiring, energetic, singing, not only in the traditional classical style, but also in the Caribbean style. We are looking forward for your bhajans as well, in addition to the teachings. Thank you, Swamiji. Without taking much time, I'd like to hand over the floor to you. And welcome again. Pranams.
Something before we begin? So, Pujya Swamiji, would like to say a few words before we begin?
Yes. Okay,
Please.
Swami. Yes, now unmuted. Actually, we are so blessed that Swamiji is amidst us. And it was a surprise when I heard that Swami Prakashananda, how come Swamiji could? But it was planned much before, and Swamiji kept that it is greatness of Swamiji. So Swami looks very simple, but knowledge is up to here. He has got wisdom like anything. And how he deals with people, it is amazing that one has to learn from Swami. So many people, he will talk to them as if he is nobody. He will come to the level bhai or something. He can go and eat coconut in somebody's home and just without without informing them. He'll just go and tell something, and then people respect him so much because of his simplicity, because of his that human touch, and that one has to learn a lot from Swamiji. And what Swamiji is going to tell, it is not reading a book and just telling his feelings. That is very important, and we are blessed, and we request Swamiji to enlighten us with the words of wisdom from Ramayana.
Thank you for your blessing, Swamiji. I like your hoodie.
Not only muffler.
Okay. Let us join in doing a little bit of Mangalacharan. Today we can do perhaps whole Mangalacharan of Ramayana, and in subsequent days we can perhaps just do one or two mantras. Varnanam artha sanghanam rasanam chandasam api mangalanam cha kartaram vande vani vinayako Bhavani Shankaro Vande Shraddha Vishwas Rupinau Yapyam Vina Napashyanti Siddha Swantastamishwaram Vande Bodhamayam Nityam Gurum Shankar Rupinam Yamashrito hi vakropi Chandra sarvatra vandyate Sita Rama Gunagram Punyaranya Viharino Vande Vishuddha Vijnano Kavishwara Kapishwaro Udbhavasthiti Samhara Karini Kleshaharini Sarvashreyaskarim Sitam Natoham Ramavallabham Yanmaya Vashavarti Vishwamakhilam Brahmadideva Sura Yatsattvadamrisheva Bhati Sakalam Rajo yathair brahmaha Yatpadaplavamekαμeva hi bhavam Bodhe sthitirshavatam Vandeham tamasheshakaranaparam Ramakhyamisham harim Nana Purana Nigamagamasammatam yad Ramayane Nigaditam Kvachidanyatopi Swanta Sukhaya Tulsi Raghunat Gatha Bhasha Nibandhamati Manjulamatnoti Bhasha Nibandhamati Manjulamatnoti Hari Om Bare bhag manush tan pawa Sur dullabh sab granth nigawa बिनु सत्संग विवेक न होए राम कृपा बिनु सुलभ न सोए रघुकुल रीति सदा चली आई श्री प्राण जाए वर बचन न जाई। कोमल चित अति दीन दयाला, कारण बिनु रघुनाथ कृपाला। अवध तहाई जहाँ राम निवासु, दिवस तहाँ जहाँ भानु प्रकाशु। मंगल भवन मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी। द्रव उस दशरथ अजिर बिहारी। नहीं कलिकर मन नहीं कलिकर मन भगति विवेकु। राम नाम अवलंबन एकु। बिनु गुरु भवनिधि तरई न कोई। जो बिरंची शंकर सम होई। कर्म प्रधान विश्व करी राखा। जो जस करई सो तस फलु चाखा। राम जय राम जय जय राम। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। जय 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 राघव जानकी वल्लभा। जय 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 राघव जानकी वल्लभा। जय सुर नर वंदिता जामवंत सेविता। जय सुर नर वंदिता जामवंत सेविता। जय 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 राघव जानकी वल्लभा जय 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 राघव जानकी वल्लभा जनार्दन जगन्नाथ जानकी कांत राम जनार्दन जगन्नाथ जानकी कांत राम जनन मरण वर्जिता जनकपुर विराजिता जनन मरण वर्जिता जनकपुर विराजिता जय 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 राघव जानकी वल्लभा जय 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 राघव जानकी वल्लभा जय सुर नर वंदिता जामवंत सेविता जय सुर नर वंदिता जामवंत सेविता जय 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 राघव जानकी वल्लभा जानकी वल्लभा जानकी वल्लभा ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः ओम श्री गुरुदेवाय नमः Okay, very special welcome to all of you. Those who are listening from Peoria and other places. We are seeing from today a very interesting portion of the Shri Ramcharitmanas. Ramcharitmanas ehi nama Shravana Sunata Paya Bishrama. Tulsidas, she says that this Ramcharitmanas, which he named, for one who listens to it, he attains Bishrama. Bishrama means the state of supreme peace, like that. Supreme peace. And you'll see in Sundarakanda, when Hanumanji was sitting on that Ashoka tree and he related the Ramayana to Sitaji, who was down below, and when she heard that Ramayana, Tulsidas writes there that when Sitaji heard this Ramayana, Kara dukha bhaga, all her sorrows went away. So just listening to this Ramayana only, one can get so much of peace and joy in life. What to talk of study, what to talk of you yourself chanting and all of these things, you see. So we are going to now see this little portion. It's called as Rama Gita. The Ramayana has, this Ramcharitmanas of Goswami Tulsidas ji has 7 kandas. And this Rama Gita comes in the 3rd kanda, which is called as Aranya Kanda. So it comprises a very small portion, and any little portion is enough, once studied well. Alpapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat, Bhagavan says in Gita. Little bit of this dharma, if studied well, can save one from great sorrow and great fear and all such things. Little only. So we don't need much. Okay, so in these 7 days, we will study 7 days. We'll study this Rama Gita. Now, it is Ramayana. There are many Gitas. Huh? Some people say there are 18 Gitas. Lakshmana Gita, Vibhishana Gita, Purajana Gita, Guru Gita, Shiva Gita, Ram Gita. So many Gitas are there. Kak Gita, Kak Bhushundi Samvad, there's Gita there also. So many Gitas are there in there inside of here. But this one is very interesting. Well, when we say like that, this one is very interesting. All of them are very interesting. When we are studying it, that time, that one is the best. And then you go to the other one, that one is best. So how many best? All are best. Like that. Gitas. Okay. So, like it says, Rama Gita, Bhagwan Ram is speaking to Lakshmana. And now, when did this happen? At what time in this Ramayana? Let me just tell you a little bit. Bhagwan Ram decided that he'll leave his Chitrakoot abode where he stayed for 13 years. In Chitrakoot, he stayed there for 13 out of 14 years. And he started moving south. And he came to a place called as Dandakaranya. Dandakaranya. After Bhagwan Sri Ram came to Dandakaranya, that place started to blossom once more. And today, that Dandakaranya name is not there anymore. Now it is called as Panchavati. I'm sure many of you would have visited this Panchavati. And it is in modern day Nasik area. And there is also that Kumbh Mela which takes place there every so often. So this is the place where Bhagwan Ram came now. And those of you who like traveling in India and all, you can still visit so many of the places where Bhagwan Ram himself stayed there in that Panchavati. At that time, it was called as Dandakaranya. Now, we will see. This is after number 13. 1-3 in this Aranyakand. I will be chanting. And here, people will be replying each line with Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. If you have your Ramayana with you, you can also take it out and turn to Doha number 13 in the Aranyakand and you can follow along. Okay, now see this. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. जब ते राम की दहबासा सुखी भये मुनि बीती त्रासा गिरि बन नदी ताल छवि छाए दिन दिन प्रतियति होहि सुहाए खग मृग वृंद आनंदित रही मधुप मधुर गुंजत छवि लहही सोपन बरनी न सक अहि राजा जहाँ प्रगट रघुबीर बिराजा श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम Jai Raghurama, Jai Sitarama, Sitarama, Syamar Ramachandra ki jai. Very nice introduction to this prasanga in Aranyakand. Goswami Tulsidas ji writes, Jabate Ram Keenatah Basa, Sukhi Vaye Muibiti Trasa, Giriban Nadi Tal Chabichaye, Din Din Prati Ati Hoi Suhaye. So Dandakaranya had two sharp, Gautam Rishi had given one sharp to this Dandakaranya, and at one time Bhrigu Rishi also had given to this. And that place became dry and arid and lifeless, filled with rakshasas and burnt trees, and it was a desolate kind of place. And Bhagwan Ram came to that place. At one time, even the great Gautam Rishi used to be close by there, and so that Bhrigu Rishi also. So it was a well-known forest. But with the sharp of these two rishis, many stories are there regarding sharp, how they gave sharp and all. So you can go see that. How many people are very interested in sharp. So those who are interested in sharp, you can go and check that sharp and all. So anyway, now Tulsidas's introduction to this is so nice. What is it? Jabate Rama Keena Taha Basa. Bhagwan came there and took up residence. Bhagwan came to the Dandakaranya. And when he came, he says, Sukhi Vaye Munibiti Trasa. All the rishis, munis in that area and all became happy, and all their fears went away. This all can be taken also very symbolically. Giribana Nadi Tal Chavi Chaye. Mountain and the forest and the rivers and the ponds and everything, they started looking more beautiful. Din din prati ati hoi suhaye. Day by day, they all started looking so beautiful. Day by day. Khaga mriga brinda anandita rahahi. And all the animals and birds started rejoicing. Bhagwan Ram came there. Madhupa madhura gunjat chavi ilahi. And the bees started buzzing a new tune, as though. So bana baranina saka ahi raja. Even Sheshanag with 1,000 mouths could not describe the beauty that came upon that Dandakaranya when Bhagwan Sri Ram came there. Jaha pragata raghubira viraja, where Ram dwells. And the idea is, our heart is like that, Heart is full of all the Kam, Krodh, Mada, Lobh, all the different type of, Shadvikar it is called. All the Durgana gunas, all negative traits and qualities and all. And sort of in that heart, it is dry and arid and stone-like and all that sort of, and all the Rakshas qualities are there. But if we allow Bhagwan Sri Ram in our heart, we allow Bhagwan Sri Ram to come inside, beauty will blossom in our life, in our own heart. So, the person has to make the effort, instead of harboring, instead of culturing all negative thoughts and all negative things or useless things, things that bring no benefit or anything, we should harbor and culture all useful thoughts and useful activities, you see. That will bring mangalam, that will bring goodness and divinity to our life. That is the bringing of Ram. Bringing Ram means what? Not to go and take up that murti from there and bring here like this, not that type of thing. It means I have to harbor and culture all the good, positive thoughts. I see Rama stands for compassion, Rama stands for love, Rama stands for charity, Rama stands for goodness, for joy. All those type of thoughts. Kindness, mercy, kripa, like that. Daya. So all the great qualities we should culture in our heart. That is bringing Ram. That heart will blossom with joy and beauty and all, you see. And beauty is about inside, not outside. So this is the idea. Jabate Ram Keenata Basa, when Bhagwan Ram came there, the beauty became indescribable. And He's, he and Lakshmana, they set up a little hut there, and then from there onwards now, they stayed there for a little while, and it is there that the Ram Gita unfolds. So this Ram Gita unfolds there in Dandakaranya, which is, I told you, after Bhagavan Sri Ram came, its name was changed to Panchavati. Why? Because Bhagavan Ram saw 5 Vatavriksha. Vatavriksha means this banyan trees. So 5 of them. Even today you can go there, it is still there. People still visit. These 5 trees together. So Panchavati means that where that 5 banyan trees are there. So now, how the Rama Gita starts in that place called as Panchavati. This is now what we will see. Now from the very next Chaupai itself, those of you who are seeing this Ramcharitamanas for the first time, Goswami Tulsidas Ji, there are 4 types of verses here which he has written, or maybe 5 types. One type is called as Chaupai, and this is what we just sang, and now we are going to sing again. And this is the most pervasive. Then the second most pervasive is called as Doha. Then there in between, less pervasive, some Sortha, and then finally some Chanda. And then at the beginning of each Kanda, he writes also some Sanskrit shlokas. So this is the 5th type, Sanskrit shlokas. Okay, so now this Ram Gita starts. How it starts, better I not tell, Tulsidas Ji himself will tell here. Now see this. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. एक बार प्रभु सुख आसीना, लक्ष्मण बचन कहे छलहीना। सुर नर मुनि सचराचर साई, मैं पूछूं निज प्रभु की नाई। राम जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम। एक बार प्रभु सुख आसीन. One day, Bhagwan Sri Ram was sitting very comfortably. Sukha asina means sitting very comfortably. Very interestingly, in this katha, this prasanga which is going on now, this episode, please see, Sita ji is absent. There is no mention of Sita ji. And there is no explanation also where Sita ji was. This is a dialogue between Rama and Lakshmana only, and no mention of Sita ji. So one day Bhagwan Sri Ram was sitting there very comfortably. Ek baar Prabhu sukha asina. Prabhu word I'll tell you. Prabhu word I saw somewhere has very nice meaning. It says, Kartum akartum anyatha kartum samarthaha is Prabhu. What is that? Prabhu is he who can make the impossible possible. So akartum, something which cannot be done. Cannot be done. He will make it be done. Or anyatha kartum also. Means to say, he will make, for example, if you see cow gives white milk, he can make it give black milk also. Anyatha kartum. What? This is Bhagwan. Samartha. Prabhu. That's why, see, a forest, just now which I told you, a forest which is given sharp by 2 rishis. Bhagwan only put his foot there and the whole thing transformed. This is Bhagwan. This is Prabhu. You see, who has that samartha, means that capacity, power, that might. Just by wink of his eye, he can dissolve this entire sansar. Entire cosmos can be dissolved by a wink of eye, wink of one eye. Huh? What a talk. So kartuma anitha kartum samartha is Prabhu. So this Prabhu, Bhagwan Ram, sitting there, the ocean of knowledge, and Lakshmana, then see Lakshmana, the Lachimana. In this North Indian languages, many of the North Indian states, when a word in Sanskrit is difficult to say, what they do, they make very easy. Like, for example, if you have to say Indra, Indra is difficult to say, you say Indar. Because for Indra, you have to twist your tongue a little bit too much. So instead of Indra, say Indar. Easy. Smaran. Smaran. Very difficult. Smaran. Why you'll make your tongue, go up to the roof of your mouth and everything is smaran. Sumiran. Sumiran. See, so many words like that in this Ramcharitmanas, you will see. Swabhav. Swabhav. So whenever conjunct consonants come like that, smaran, sma, there's a conjunct consonant. Swabhav. Here you see everywhere, Tulsidas, subha. Subhav. Easy. So like that, all the words, so Lakshman. See, to pronounce Lakshmana name is very difficult in Sanskrit, Lakshmana. Here, Lachiman. Lachiman is given. So it's a very endearing form of the word. Lachiman bachan kahe chalahina. Very, very instructive words. Huh? Lakshmana is going to ask some questions from Bhagwan Sri Ram. And Tulsidaji writes how Lakshmana asks. Chalahina. Very important word. Chalahina means he asks those questions without any ulterior motives. What is it? Ulterior motives, People ask question many times. Look here. You'll see. Sometimes we ask a question so that other people will know that I am asking an intelligent question. I may not also know what the question means, but I am asking an intelligent question. Other people will say, he asked such an intelligent question. Like that. Or another reason why some people ask question, he wants to see, he knows already, but he wants to see if that fellow knows. So he asks the question to that fellow. Then, sometimes, he asks that question only because he has nothing to ask. He really is not interested in any answer also. He feels, I should ask some question. When I'm here, I met this person, he's a knowledgeable person, I should ask something. And whatever he says, he doesn't even listen also. Whatever answer he gets, this fellow doesn't listen also. So no, that chalahina means devoid of all of these things. Question we should not ask to test that other person to see what he knows. Pariksha we give. And I want to see if he knows. And some people go on asking everywhere. Swamiji, I've asked everybody this question. I want your take. Like this. I also like this thing. I want your take. My take? I no take. So anyway, Lakshmana did not have any of these things in his mind. And what is left now? We ask only because there is a genuine concern, desire to know. And one more thing, let me add this thing. So Pujya Gurudev used to explain very nicely to all of us. What is that? if a question arises in our mind, any question that arises, I'm studying Ramayana or Gita, Upanishad, something, and some question arises in our mind. Okay. So suddenly we don't open our mouth and just blurt out that question to the guru or blurt out to some Swamiji or something. No. That's not the procedure also. The procedure is, when a question arises in my mind, I go and I reflect, and see if I can come up with that answer myself. This is the best thing. I study that question from different angles and different standpoints and see if I can come up with the answer. And when I have reflected from all the angles of which I am capable and I cannot come up with that answer, then only I go and ask Gurudev, ask the teacher, you see, like that. So this is the idea. Also Lakshmana asked with great desire to know from Bhagwan. Now, how he asks, also how he continues there, he says, Sur Nara Muni Sacharachara Sai. Sai means Lord. You are the Lord of all Sura, all the gods, Nara, all men, all Munis, Sacharachara means all moving and unmoving things. There's one Lord only in this universe, of all things moving and unmoving. So you are the Lord of all things. And by extension, you are my Lord also. मैं पूछूं निज प्रभु की नाई. So because you are my Lord, Nija Prabhu, you are my Lord as well. So I am asking you to tell me the answer to these questions. So very, very instructional lines about even asking a question. You know, people think that they are not important, but they are. Yeah? All of these things, they are important. Because, see, when we follow these type of very simple rules, what happens? You see? I remove chala from my mind. I have a genuine desire to know. Then, I don't want to test anybody or anything. I go with a simple mind. Then I also ask when is the right time. See, Prabhu Sukha Asina. Gurudev used to stress on these type of things. You know, that he's entering a train. 1 foot inside the train, 1 foot outside the train. And then that fellow tells, Gurudev, can you tell me what is Atma Gyan? Atma Gyan, 1 foot is already inside, 1 foot outside. I want to know Atma Gyan at that time. No. So, he says there has to be a right time also. So, when we follow all of these rules, what happens is, the person who follows the rules, he makes his own mind, he makes his own antakarana more susceptible to learning or more conducive to learning when he follows the rules. So it is for his own benefit. So when the answer is given and that antakarana is well poised and more conducive to learning, that answer will stick. But if he doesn't follow the rules and asks hastily and all of that, the antakarana is not in the right condition to receive any gyan. So all the rules are laid down very nicely in tradition, in shastras and all. Sa guru eva bhigachet samit pani shrotyam bamanishtam. See, it tells how we approach the guru. Scriptures give all of these things, you see. So, following the rules is very important. Don't think that the rules are not important. Or I go, no, Swamiji, this is modern times, you know. I can call up the guru and say, Guruji, what about such and such thing? Or you call up the Guruji, Sup Guru? No. Following rules very important for that student himself. It makes the student's mind conducive to learning. Okay. Now, what are Lakshmana's questions to Bhagwan Shri Ram? Prabhu, I am going to ask you these questions. And see now, we must also praise Lakshmana, you know. Because look, when Lakshmana asks the question and Bhagwan Shri Ram replies, not only Lakshmana gets the benefit, we also get the benefit of that. So all praises to Lakshmana for asking the most appropriate questions. Now you'll see which questions he asked. And this forms the body of the Ram Gita, of this Aranyakant. See. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. मोहि समुझाए कहु सोई देवा। सब तजी करऊं चरण रज सेवा। कहु ज्ञान विराग अरु माया। श्री राम जय राम, कहु सुभगति करहु जय दाया। ईश्वर जीव भेद प्रभु। सकल कहौं समुझाए श्री राम। जाते होई चरण रति। शोक मोह भ्रम जाय श्री रामा। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। जय रघुराम, जय सीताराम। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। मोहि समुझाई कहऊ सोई देवा। सब तज करो चरण रज सेवा। Please, Prabhu, you explain these things to me so that I will be able to drop everything and only do seva to your lotus feet. Means when these things are clear up in my mind, I will be able to drop everything in this world and only do seva to your feet. This is Lakshmana's statement. Explain these things to me. But what things? Here they are now. 5 things. I have enough fingers on one hand. 5 things. Kahahu Gyan. Tell me what is Gyan. Birag. Birag means Vairagya. Gyan means knowledge. Birag. Birag means Vairagya. Aru Maya. Aru is not one more question. Aru means aur, and. Cha. Maya cha. So tell me Gyan, Vairagya, Maya. Then next one, Kahahu Bhagati. So Bhagati. Kahahu Bhagati. Tell me what is devotion. This is number 4. Karahu Jai Daya, by which I can get your compassion. That devotion by which I can get your compassion. Number 4. And number 5. Ishwar Jeev Bhed Prabhu Sakala Kahau Samujhai. Tell me the bhed, the difference between Ishwara and Jiva. The difference between Ishwara and Jiva. And the last line is most instructional. The last line of that Doha, very, very instructional. See, everything in the universe is purposeful. Everything in the universe has a purpose. And if I also am asking a question without a purpose, that is just superfluous. That is of no use. And the questions which Lakshmana asks are the eternal questions for which there are eternal answers also. And the purpose is stated in the last line. What is this? He says, Jate hoi charan rati soka moha brahma jai. So that when these questions are answered, for me, all shoka moha will go away. Shoka moha. If you see the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, or you see the beginning of Yoga Vasishtha, or wherever you go, you'll see Bhagavan Sri Ram is asking questions to the great sage Vishwamitra in Yoga Vasishtha. And why is he asking these questions? And of course, first he asked to Vishwamitra ji, and then later to the sage Vasishtha also, right? So when he's asking those questions, there he very clearly also he states that when these questions are answered, my shoka moha will go. And Bhagavan Shri Shankaracharya, in beginning of his Bhashya on Bhagavad Gita, there also he says that Bhagavan Shri Krishna has to remove the shoka moha of Arjuna. It is to remove shoka moha, means the sorrow and delusion, one which is the cause of the other. Delusion is the cause of the sorrow. So this actually is the problem of jiva. The jiva has no problem, except this dukkha, shok. Shoka means dukkha. This is jiva's problem. Our life is guided only by this thing. This is sukha prapti, dukkha nivritti. Every action of a jiva, every action of a human being is guided by this principle only. But he wants to acquire sukha and get rid of dukkha. That dukkha is caused by moha, delusion. So, here Lakshmana is asking these questions to Bhagavan Sri Ram, so that when the questions are answered, Lakshmana is shoka and moha. And he adds one more word, Brahma. Tulsidaji has a knack for that. Anywhere, anything is given, it's like there two word is given, Tulsidaji will add one more. Shoka moha Brahma jai. Brahma word. Confusion like that. In 16th chapter, there Bhagavan Shri Krishna tells that there are 3 doors to hell: Kam, Krodh, Lobh. Trividam narakasyadam dwaram nashanam. 3 doors to hell. Tulsidaji Sundarkan. Kam, Krodh, Mada, Lobh. Mada he adds. Arrogance. One more door. The likelihood of going to hell is greater. So anyway, like that. But the words are very powerful words, instructional words. Anyway, so here, Brahma. So but the 2 important operative words, Lakshmana is himself telling that when you answer these questions for me, then shoka moha brahma jai, they will go away. And then what? Jate hoi charan rati. And then I will come to revel in your feet. Now, before I continue, let me just tell you, this is something about Bhakti Marga. Let me tell you some differences in Gyan Marga and Bhakti Marga. In Gyan Marga, one merges with the absolute reality and the story is over. Case closed. One merges. So that you know that there, what we have to call as Salokya Mukti, Samipya Mukti, Sarupya Mukti, and Sayujya Mukti, right? So in Gyanmar is Sayujya Mukti. That person merges like a drop of water merging with the ocean. Now where is that drop thereafter? It merges, irretrievable. Gyanmarg. Bhakti Marg is when a person realizes God, when all his shoka, moha, brahma, everything is removed, that time the person discovers what is true devotion, what is true love. Means his love becomes infinitely expansive like that. And so he embraces the whole world, and he has great devotion for the feet of the Lord of the universe, like that. In other words, in Bhakti Marg, after realization, then there is supreme love for the feet of Bhagwan. And Lakshmana said this thing 2 times. Jate hoi charan rati. So when my shok moha brahma goes, then I will revel in your feet. And prior to that also, sab taji karo charan raja seva. So when you explain these questions to me, I will be able to drop all things and do only seva to the dust of your lotus feet, like that. So these are the 5 questions. Now you have to also see the order of the questions. Tell me what is Gyan, Vairagya, Maya, what is Bhakti, and what is the difference between Jiva and Ishvara. These are the 5 in that order. Now, Bhagwan Ram, he doesn't answer in that order. So people say, what is wrong with this Rama? This Rama did not listen properly or what? The question was asked like this. He answers, you see, Gyan, Virag, Maya, Bhakti, and Isha Jiva Bhed. Bhagwan Ram answers Maya first. He jumps to number 3. Well, there are a number of reasons for that thing. One reason is, see, very simple. If Bhagwan Ram tells Gyan, right, then what is need for the others? When it's a person who acquires Gyan, knowledge, then there is no need for others. So it's not that Bhagwan Ram is answering in the wrong order, it's Lakshmana asking in the wrong order. That is the thing. You see, look here. In this tradition, we cannot say that Bhagwan, and that's it, people still do this, that what Bhagwan did was improper. Everywhere we go, people are going asking, oh, Bhagwan Ram sent away Sita ji. He did wrong thing. Bhagwan Ram shot Bali from behind the tree. He did wrong thing. Are bhaiya, you know what you are saying? The Lord of this infinite universe, Sacharachara Sai, you are saying you know better than him. The Lord who knows everything is Sarvagnya. So you are past Sarvagnya. What is this? It is not that Bhagwan Ram is answering in wrong order. He asked Jnana first, Maya third. Bhagwan answers Maya. Bhagwan is answering in the proper order only. Because if he answers Jnana first, there is no need for the other 4. Leave it. There will be no rationale for them. Second thing is, look here. You just think. If you are walking down the street somewhere and you see a kid who is without clothing, without food, without schooling. No clothes, no food, no school. The kid is just a street kid. So what you will do first? You will go and take him to school. You'll grab the kid and take him to school. Anyway, out of the 3 things, you see the most important thing is the thing which is pressing at the moment, isn't it? The thing which is pressing at the moment, upon which the other things depend. That which is pressing there is food. If you don't give food, well, what is the need for clothing and school? He'll die. So whatever is the affliction of the jiva, whatever affliction that the jiva has, those afflictions will have ranks, and the most pressing one, the important one, will have to be dealt with first. Now you see this thing. The jiva is here caught up in this maya. Maya is his affliction. So That's why people say, look, first you give me food, then you will give me knowledge after. That's the pressing thing. So this jiva has to now figure out what is his present state. Why is he in this state like this? And there's one more question. Because jiva is, in the first instance, the jiva is subject to maya, afflicted by this maya. And he quickly wants to diagnose his problem. See what is this maya, how it works, this, that, all the other things. What is the cause of his sorrow and all such things. He has to see this. In doing that, in really figuring out his present condition and his state of existence in maya, really he will be inching closer to jnana. But always there is a diagnosis. When you go to a doctor, there's a diagnosis and he has to study the problem. So the maya comes through because it's a study of the problem. What is my problem? What is our problem? Like that. So when we study that problem, study, the answer will also dawn. Like, so in proper order, Bhagavan Sri Ram starts with this thing called as Maya, number 3. So now let us see that thing. Before Bhagavan tells about this Maya, he tells Lakshmana how to listen to what he is going to tell. Because there is a way to listen also, very important thing in this tradition. Shravanam is not a simple word. Shravanam is not an ordinary word. Shravanam is a big word in this tradition. So Bhagavan tells to Lakshmana, see this thing. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. तोरे ही महा सब कहूँ बुझाई. Shri Ram Jaya Ram. सुन उतात मति मन चित लाई. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. थोड़े ही महसब कहूँ बुझाई. Bhagavan says, I am going to answer all your questions briefly. The first thing. Not long discourse. And nobody likes to listen to long discourses, Briefly, I am going to. That is why actually we should make this class 1 hour only. Anyway, it's already 1.5 hours. So, I am going to answer very briefly. And do you know, really, brevity it is called. Brevity is actually a sign of great intelligence. Intelligence on the part of the speaker as well as on the listener. If both go on like at length like that, that shows that there is something lacking. You know? Brevity is very. That's why I see all our scriptures, they are written in sutra form. Sutra. And these short little sutra forms, they are so packed with so much of knowledge. So Bhagavan also is telling. And I told you in the beginning, na? Bhagavad Gita, kinchidadhita. Little. Otherwise people like, Ramji, we studied all of these texts already. What new text we can study? Like that. Tell what new text we can study. Arey bhaiya, one is sufficient. You no need to go on doing all people like all of these things, on and on. Little. Kinchidadhita. So here Bhagavan also, he stresses on this point of brevity. Being brief. Succinct, to the point. And then he tells Lakshmana now, Sunahu tat, my dear. Tat is a endearing word. Tat. Father to son, son to father, like that. Tat. Parent to child. Tat. Bhagavan, Shri Krishna calls Arjuna Tat many times. So here, Sunahu tat, listen my dear. Mati, mana, chit, lai. Bring together your mind, intelligence, all your memory, past knowledge. Bring together your entire personality. That is the idea. This is the art of listening. Or Pujya Gurudev used to say, people don't listen, they hear only. We don't listen, we hear. What hear means? We hear in passing. And here means also it goes through this air and comes out from other air. But to bring together the whole personality, be present there with the whole personality. This is a big problem for human beings. See, in japa, 3 parts of the personality are supposed to be united. Yukta. The speech, the body, and the mind. The body is holding mala. Mind is thinking. And speech is saying mantra. The mind is actually coordinating both of them. Bringing synchronicity to both of them. So in japa, all 3 should be there. So you see here also in listening to, and especially who is speaking? Bhagavan himself is speaking. Not any ordinary being. Bhagavan is speaking. So to bring together all my intelligence, all my bhava, feeling, all my memory, past knowledge. Because if yesterday I heard 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, that is relevant in today's lecture. Because from today I'm going to hear 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. But if I forget yesterday, what is 4 now? So I have to, whatever I heard in the past, now I'm going to add to that knowledge. So here the word is chitta. So bring all my past knowledge, bring my attention, bring my bhav, my feeling, bring my love, bring everything there to listen to. This is how we have to listen. My whole personality, in other words. Presence of mind. This is the idea. So Bhagavan tells how to listen. And now, in one of the best definition of Maya, most succinct, most brief definition of Maya you will see, but most relevant definition of Maya. See now, this is the next line. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram. May aru more तुरते माया यही बस कीन्हे जीवन काया। श्री राम जय राम। गो गोचर जहाँ लगी मन जाई, सो सब माया जाने हुआई। बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम। बोलो बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम। श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय। मैं अरु मोर तोर तय maya. In quarter of a chaupai, Tulsidas ji is able to achieve all the gyan we have seen so many. Bhagavan Shankaracharya's written in Vivek Chudamani, you will see there also. Maya is that thing with, or Maya is Maya matramidam dvaitam. Maya matramidam dvaitam. Advaitam paramarthataha. You see. Me, look here. Now a person who doesn't know Sanskrit, very difficult thing for it. This dvaitam, the duality, let us study Bhagavan Shankaracharya a little bit, Vivek Chudamani, see this thing. The duality, maya matramidam dvaitam advaitam paramarthataha, like this. So the duality which we experience is called as maya. That is verily maya itself. The duality which we experience. And the reality or the truth is, there is no duality. There is only oneness in the universe. So this is Sanskrit shlokas and the expression there. But Tulsidas is able to achieve that same thing in a very, very simple form. May arumor, me and mine, and you and yours. So now see, that duality or not? There's me and mine here, and there's you and yours. There are two things. Wherever there's a me, there's a you. Two things. So me and mine, you and yours, the duality. In other words, I don't see myself as related to you. What is mine is mine. That wife is telling that husband, what is mine, and what is yours is mine. That means everything is mine. But we have all this very strong feeling of me and mine. So the moment I just say me and mine, that means to say everything else is you and yours. I have quickly made a distinction or a duality which really does not exist. And this is called a delusion. To think, to concoct something which does not exist. This is called a delusion, which is not so. So I make a distinction between what is me and mine and what is you and you. I only have to do the first part, The moment I delineate the first part, me and mine, well, I have thereby automatically made the other part. You can't have a coin with one side. If ever you find a coin with one side, you please show it to me. So the moment you make me and mine, well, you have automatically created the other side. You have automatically made a duality. You see? So that feeling of duality, of that I am here and these things are mine, and you are there and those things are yours. The that perpetuation of that feeling, that is the perpetuation of Maya. I mean, I cling to that. That is designed, that very same thing is called as the design of Maya. So what is Maya? Maya rumur turte, Maya. Me and mine, you and yours, that is called as Maya. And it is exactly the same thing what is being said in Vivek Chudamani, which I just told you. There's no difference. Maya matramidam dvaitam. So, in Kota Chopai, he wraps it up. Then, he says, Mayaru Murturte Maya, Jehi Basakine Jivanikaya, which has the Jiva under its grip. It is this Maya, this feeling of me and mine, you and yours, which has the Jiva under its grip. Means this duality which the Jiva is experiencing and which binds the Jiva. It is bondage. This is the bondage of the Jiva. It has the Jiva under its grip. It's bounded the Jiva. And even for the Jiva to feel, I am Jiva and he is Ishvara, that also is duality. That is part of the bondage. I am here. And that's why in all traditions, everywhere, people have this feeling, I am here. And what we say? Uparwala is looking. Have you heard? Uparwala is looking. So we are here and Bhagavan is there. All this is part of the delusion only. All the delusion caused by Maya. So Mayaru Murturtai Maya, Jehi Basakinhe Jivanikaya, means which has all jivas under its grip, which has all jivas bound to this universe, which has all jivas in bondage. Tomorrow we'll pick up this thing from right here. This is because this bondage is a big thing. Big thing. All right. Let us stop and then we'll see tomorrow. Okay, now we'll have announcements and closing prayers and all. Let me just chant for a moment and then we'll have announcements and closing prayer. Hare Rama, 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 Sita, Rama, Rama, Rama. 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 Sita, Rama, Rama, Rama. Rama, Rama, Rama. श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय. Okay.
Hari Om.
Hari
Thank
Om.
you, Swamiji. We are looking forward for tomorrow's session. This is the first one is Chinmaya Mission. Gita Jayanti festival is going on. It started today and it continues through December 24th. In various languages, it's daily half an hour. Choose your language. The flyer is has been sent. It's available even on Chinmaya websites. One thing I want to make sure is you please do attend on December 24th, a brief half an hour session by Swami Ramakrishnananda ji. He gives a very brief overview of Bhagavad Gita in numbers. Very interesting, very exciting to know how he puts it all together in terms of numbers as a countdown from 9 to 0. Please do attend on the 24th. I'm not saying you don't attend other things. Choose your language and attend. And the second announcement is I put it out in the chat for everybody. If you have any questions, please do send your questions, keeping in mind what Swamiji mentioned about asking the questions, but we welcome your questions. Please do document your questions in the link provided. We will put it all together, and on the last day, Swamiji will be able to answer some of those questions in the time that is allocated. So those are the two announcements. And again, we will meet at 6:20 with bhajans and 6:30 with speech by Swamiji tomorrow.
Thank you, Surji. Looking forward to seeing all of you tomorrow. Please invite your friends and let them all join. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Thank you.